whether you are renovating full on, or whether you are just switching things up in your house, or whether you are just thinking about switching things up. Hello everyone, welcome back to Spaceforedit, where we talk about all the things that they don't teach you in design school but you need to know in the real world. And in today's video we will be talking about how to really get started about designing your own house, and I will be sharing some bits and bobs from my own experience as I am now a homeowner. And if you are not up to date, then make sure you watch these two videos, because that's where I share all the ins and outs on how we got about to being homeowners. So it has been around 5/6 months since we've been in the house, and it has not gone to plan. Let me just say that. I thought with my design experience I will be well prepared for this, but let me tell you, I was not. So in today's video I wanted to share a bit where we are at the moment, and also share the tips and tricks that I have used to kind of create the design for the house and really get my thoughts together. Because what was really interesting to me was that it was so much different to create design for myself. I've obviously always created designs for my clients and have been practicing more on the commercial side of interior design. So creating a design for my own house was actually almost like starting from scratch. So later on in the video I'll be talking about all that, how you can maybe use the same sort of tactics and methods to create your own design. But let's just start with a quick catch up. I might even make a brew. Yes, let's make a brew and come back. Okay, let's have a sip. Ooh. Oh, it's a bit too hot. Don't you hate it when you just make a brew and it's just a little bit too hot? You need to like kind of wait till it cools down. Okay. Not had a coffee yet today. Okay. So, update. Where are we with our house 5-6 months in? I really need to figure out how long we've been living in here for. Anyways, so the reality is that everything takes a lot longer than you actually think. And if you are buying a house that is not a new build and is not being freshly done or really well looked after, then there is going to be so much coming out of the woods and surprising you and taking all your money. And that's really what's happened to us. I thought around this time we will be nice and settled, all the rooms will be decorated, I will have beautiful brand new furniture in each room, you know, I'm gonna start fresh and it's gonna be epic. No, that's not how it happened. We actually hit quite a lot of roadblocks, I guess you can call them, because the house is old. It's been built, what, in the 60s, 70s, I think, and the homeowners who were here before were not really looking after the property that well. They might have been in their own way, but they were not up to our standards. So actually when we moved in, when we started kind of redecorating, that's what we first did actually. I had 2 weeks off work, I think, that we actually booked for a holiday, but thank you COVID-19, we didn't end up going anywhere. But you know what, it kind of fell into place and the universe knows best anyway. So we had 2 weeks off, so we decided we're gonna do the move from the old house into the new house, and we're just gonna decorate the whole house first. So it's just all nice and plain colors, nothing too crazy. I kind of had an idea of the feature wallpapers that I might want to use in some rooms, so I made sure that the plain color around, like you can see in the background at the moment, will go with that feature wallpaper. But everything else was just very simple. And what we soon learned as we started living and using the house, as the weather changed, there were a lot of leaks, there were a lot of issues with just plumbing and electrics, and all of those things needed to be fixed. And even the front porch, it turned out that there was not an actual existing wall for a part of the wall. If you were following my Insta stories, then you know, oh, the drama that we went through with that. yeah, it's just been all those things are obviously taking money from your initial budget. They are taking time, and those are like setting you back. So 5-6 months on, where are we? We are living comfortably. The house feels like a home. I've made it work. We've obviously made a few new purchases, and the rooms are looking nice. They are livable and they are homely, but they are not finished up to the scratch, you know, the way that I would want it to be. They're not accessorized, the feature wallpaper is not on, loads of little things that need kind of finishing off. But I would say we are 70% there. Yes, maybe. If you take out the garden, the work that needs to be done, I'm just looking out on the garden now, and it's gonna be a project, but I'm excited because spring is coming. We're gonna do a massive clear out of all the stuff that's there. We are replacing the fence, and it's gonna be gorgeous by the end of the summer when we are again supposed to go back inside. But you know, that's just the joys of having a house and working on it as we go along. So now that we have had a little good catch up, let's get to the fun stuff, interior design. I hope that these following tips will give you some guidance and some inspiration in your own journey, whether you are renovating full on, or whether you are just switching things up in your house, or whether you are just thinking about switching things up. So let me give you some tips and tricks on how to pull together the design that will work for you in your own home. So if you have watched our house purchasing journey, then you probably already know that I actually started to plan the layout of the house even before we got the keys, before we got approved for mortgage, because I was just manifesting the shiz out of this. After we came to view the house, I knew that the space was great, it was what we needed, the price was right, and I really wanted to get into it as soon as possible. So what I actually did is I took the JPEG image of the floor plan from the ad, and I dropped it into SketchUp and basically scaled it up so that it sort of would match the real deal. And I started basically building up the walls really quickly and just threw some furniture in and started to play with the layout. If you want to actually learn how to use SketchUp, then I have 3D SketchUp course, lifetime access, quick and easy tips. So just check the links below, or just send me a DM and I'll give you all the details. But back to what I was doing with the house design, I basically wanted to play around. I wanted to explore. I wasn't really tied to any kind of style of furniture. I wanted to be quick and easy and really just seeing what we could do with the space. And I think it was a really good exercise to kind of mentally prepare myself to what is actually going to be happening in the real world. Obviously, once we got the house, once we got approved, manifested, I actually came back with my husband and we did a full-on site survey. I think the person who was living here before thought, well, this is a bit too much, but no, not for me. I came in, we measured up, we got all the ceiling heights, all the floor plans and everything, and actually once I drew up that site survey, it wasn't really that far off from the letting agent's little JPEG floor plan that I created before. So, you know, you can really take those floor plans from letting agents and kind of work with them even before you manage to see the house properly. Then the next thing that I did, I started to gather all the inspiration images, all the blue sky thinking ideas that I really liked and really wanted to see in my own house. And like I said in the beginning, it was actually quite interesting to do that for myself, because I've never really nailed down what I would like to see in my own house and what my really style and my aesthetic is, what sort of details and what materials and finishes I want to see in my own house. So I went to Pinterest, like I do with every single project. I'm not ashamed to say it, Pinterest is the source of inspiration for a lot of things. I'm not going to say for everything, but for a lot of things. So I went onto Pinterest, created a board for the house. So it was called G House Interior or something like that, and created multiple boards underneath it. So there would be a board for each room, and I just started pinning. And if you want to know some tricks about how to efficiently use Pinterest as well, I've got a video on it. So after this one, go and check it out if you need more inspiration. But yeah, basically I just grew from there. As you start to pin more and more ideas, you will kind of see that there is a theme forming. It's like the look and feel is shaping, and maybe there are some things that are really sticking out like a sore thumb, and then you know that, okay, well, that is the direction that I'm not gonna go. That is just like a one-off piece that I kind of like the idea of it, but overall I will not gonna enjoy that in my own house. So that's what I did next. I created those boards and got my look and feel nailed down by the end of it. Next up, we had mood boards. Oh yes. I love a good mood board. I don't know about you, but I love a mood board. Made a video about it. Go check it out. You don't have to be too professional about it, because obviously if you are not a designer yourself, you are not going to have all the equipment, all the software that you need. I created mine in Photoshop just because I had Photoshop. It's sitting around there. I'm paying a subscription fee for it and I need to use it. So I created mine on Photoshop, and basically what I did, I went back to Pinterest, picked out the top images, like the top 5 look and feel kind of overall images, and I dragged and dropped them in. And then from there, I kind of knew that this is the sort of vibe that I'm going for, let's say for the bedroom. And now I need to find the furniture pieces that I want to fill it with. So I actually went on the websites, because COVID, everything happens online. Went to the websites, picked out the pieces that were in my budget that I knew I enjoyed, and I started to play around with. I dragged them onto the mood board to see how everything kind of looks together. Does it reflect the look and feel that I was looking at? Does it go with other items as well? So actually for our living room, I knew that we will buy a new corner sofa. We will need a rug, we will need some lights, throws and cushions and all those things. So I had in mind what I needed, a shopping list of things that I needed. So I just went out and started researching the actual products that I can buy. So your wafer, Dunelm, Facebook Marketplace actually as well. I've bought quite a few bits from Facebook Marketplace for really, really cheap. If you follow in my stories, you will see the bargains that I have found as well, which is super exciting. What else? Amazon, Next. Our sofa is from Next. IKEA. All of the vendors that you usually go for, just go and check them out. Drag the images of the items that you are kind of liking, that you are vibing, and see how they all work together. So right after I've gotten somewhere with the mood boards, they were obviously not finished and ready for like a client presentation, but I had an idea that, you know what, this is gonna work, this is gonna look good. So I started purchasing items, and what you need to realize is that a lot of things, especially now when you buy online, will have long lead times. Our sofa actually was on a, what was it, 10-week lead time, which was just, you know, I'm that kind of person who needs everything right now. Like I need to go and pick it up and be able to enjoy it tomorrow. So waiting on those long lead times actually was quite painful, and I have to admit that I've actually said no to a lot of furniture pieces that I liked just because the lead times were crazy long. So I don't know, whichever works best for you, you do that. If you are happy to wait for things to arrive, go for it. If you are not, then I think it's worth just taking a look on other sites and just seeing if you can get something for similar price, similar look, but quicker. So at this stage, it's really up to you whether you want to finish the mood board for yourself or whether it's just there sitting as a reference for you, because obviously if you are not an interior designer, if you're not going to share the mood board anywhere, then there's no real point of you finishing it. But I think the mood board step is really something that's going to help you to just visualize it, put the pieces right next to each other before you buy them, and actually see how it feels, how it looks. Does it work? Does it not work? Does it need to be in a different shade or a different color? So whether you are using Adobe Photoshop or PowerPoint to create your mood board, it does not matter, but I do recommend not skipping this step. So yeah, that has really been the process that I went through. So started with inspiration from Pinterest, pinning, making boards, refining the look and feel, then throwing a mood board together, looking for items that I could purchase that are on short lead times, and not really getting too attached to the final looking image as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you are kind of in the flow and it makes sense and you feel excited about it, then you know you're in a good place. I'm obviously being extra and I'm creating 3D visuals for all of the rooms, so check out my Instagram if you're interested in that. I will also be releasing videos once a room is finished, and you will be able to see those visuals there and the mood boards and everything else. I'm going to talk through the design and stuff like that, but that's still to come. Like I said, it's taking its time. Nursery is almost finished. It's almost finished. I'm ordering last bits and I'm just decorating it, just finessing it. If you're not up to date with my private life, then you will not know this. I have a 3-month-old little baby and we've been using the nursery all this time. She's been sleeping in a big girl's bed for a while now, and even though it's not finished and it's not up to a look that I want it to be, it's been a really nice place to be in. So keep an eye on that nursery video, definitely coming soon. Any last thoughts? I think if I would do it again, like go through all of the process again, starting from like even looking at houses, I would start a little savings pot on the side. And by little, I literally mean little, like £10 a week or a £5 here or £20 here, £30, whatever you feel like you can put aside, because even though whilst you are looking for houses, whilst you are waiting for the mortgage approvals, like that takes so long, you don't really know what you can buy and what will fit and what you will like. So, or maybe you don't even have the space to store it. So what you can do is you can put money aside for those things. When the time comes, you just dip in, you buy that nice shiny lighting fixture, and you live happily ever after. I'm telling you, you're going to be grateful that you started saving up a lot earlier, because I didn't do that and now I wish I did. Okay guys, that's it for the video. I hope it was useful. I hope you found it inspirational, maybe, and I'm looking forward to sharing more of what we have done to this house. Obviously you can kind of see a little sneak peek. That area there is changing, just sticking something in a corner so it doesn't look lost and lonely. We've got so much room to fill still, and it's a process. It is a process. I think you need to understand, unless you have a big budget that you can just blow straight away, things are going to take time. So if you take one thing with you from this video, is the fact that it takes time. Just be at peace with it and go with the flow. Okay, if you want to see a little bit more behind the scenes of what I get up to, what happens with the house, make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's a bit more of a personal approach. I share a bit, maybe overshare a bit too much of my life as a designer, so make sure you check it out. But if I don't see you there, then I'll see you in the next video. Bye.